Okay, Heavenly Father, we gather here today to guide our school community with wisdom and care. Bless our discussions that they may reflect your truth and promote the well-being of our students, staff, and families. Grant us unity and clarity as we work together for a brighter future. Amen. And Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Hey, I'd like to welcome everyone here today and call the meeting to order. First thing we need to do is approval of the board agenda. There's only two of you, so.
I move that we approve the agenda.
Thank you.
I will second.
Thank you, Susan. Public information. So discussion of payment options for pension spike. I have here, I wanted to go over a few things before we get completely into this discussion. I had asked Rachel just to provide some information because I know that after Dr. Hall had gone to the county commissioners, there was just lots of questions within the community, and I just thought we'll just kind of go. Was just to speak about pension spiking in general and kind of explain it. So what is pension spiking? Pension spiking happens when a public school employee's pay increases significantly near retirement, often through raises, bonuses, or unused leave payouts. Since retirement benefits are based on an employee's highest 48 months of salary, this can lead to a much larger pension than expected. These unexpected costs are called spiking liabilities. In North Carolina, when this happens, the school district, not the state, is responsible for paying the extra cost if the employee was hired before January 1st, 2015. So who could be affected? In 2025, this could apply to anyone whose average salary over their last 4 years is $134,687.67 or more. This threshold increases annually with inflation. So commonly affected positions would include superintendents, principals, central office staff, longtime educators with strong career growth. Why it matters. These liabilities can be very expensive for school districts and can drain local budgets. To help plan for this, the NC retirement system sends monthly reports listing employees who may cause pension spiking if they retire within the next 12 months. The report must be shared with the Board of Education, and many districts also notify county commissioners for funding support. The warning letter from the retirement division states the following. Additionally, the chief financial officer of a public school system is required to provide a copy of the report to the local Board of Education and notify the Board of County Commissioners of the county in which the local administrative unit is located that the report was received and how many employees were listed in the report. Some things that have happened within the past couple of years. The safe harbor law was passed after 2021, and this was passed to ease the burden. The NC General Assembly and state agencies created a safe harbor provision that may reduce or eliminate the spiking cost for certain employees. To qualify for this, number one, the employee must have either worked in a state-funded school position during their highest 4 years of salary or served in such a position for at least 12 years total. Also, the second is the district may be eligible for 100% waiver of the spiking bill if the employee never receives a local supplement above 20% during those years, or 50% reduction in the supplement, 50% reduction if the supplement was under 50%. The district must submit a safe harbor certification form to apply for the reduction. And there is a pension spiking form that we have. So what we're doing, and Rachel's suggestions and what we've talked about as a board, obviously to reduce and eliminate pension spiking liability for our school are the following. Number one, we will use the safe harbor provision, which is the most effective option. This law, as stated, allows full or partial waivers of pension spiking costs if specific conditions are met. So to qualify for a 100% waiver, the employee must have received no more than a 20% local supplement in any of the 4 years used to calculate their average final compensation. The position must be one funded by the state salary schedule, like a principal, superintendent, or central office administrator. The employee must have served in that type of position for at least 12 years or during their highest 4 years. To qualify for a 50% reduction, the employee must have received no more than a 50% local supplement during those years. Action item is just submit the safe harbor form to the NC retirement system for eligible retirement. So we are doing that. Another, number 2, allocate local supplements strategically. One thing that we did notice in the past was just how salaries were paid out. So here, Rachel says, we try to limit large increases in local supplements near the end of an employee's career and to keep supplements under 20%, especially in the final 4 years of service to preserve eligibility for a 100% waiver. Number 3, use state funds where possible. If allowable, pay at least 51 to 81% of the employee's total salary using state funds, including central office or state-funded allotments to lessen the district's exposure. So consider shifting salary source codes for high compensation staff nearing retirement. And Rachel has done a good job of that. I know that even when Dr. Hall was first hired, it was set up a little different, and we've done it so that way we can avoid this in the future. And lastly, plan early. Review the monthly CBBC spiking risk reports provided by the retirement system. Flag employees approaching the AFC threshold, meaning once they're over $134,000, and share the report with the Board of Education and county commissioners. So we have begun doing this at least a year ago already to prevent this. So I just wanted to go over that because I know that there was questions within the community of what is pension spiking and how does it occur? And I know the people in this room know a lot of this already, so I apologize to go through this, but I do want this to be just in the public. Also lastly, there was a bunch of questions online. Will ECS become part of Surrey County Schools? I know that this is something that has been talked about a lot. At this point, I do not believe that this is a concern, but obviously it's something that we are trying to make sure does not happen by taking care of our funds and in the decisions that we're making. Who approves spending? I saw a lot of people ask this. Who's approving spending? Our superintendent decides how monies are spent. Our finance officer will present the amendments to our of the budget to our board meetings to keep the board apprised. The board does need to approve these. We see this every board meeting. Usually Rachel comes and she shows, you know, different numbers on the screen saying where the monies have gone or been redistributed. We do have to sign off on that. When there's a purchase of monies that goes out that will go over $30,000, then the board will need to approve that. So anything that ever is over that, the board should be approving. Who writes the checks? The superintendent and finance officer sign off on all checks together. Who balances the account? That was asked numerous times as well. Our finance department does. Who is accountable for how money is spent within the school system? The superintendent, the board, and the finance director and finance department. And they work closely with Dr. Hall. And I think that they have a very good relationship right now. And, you know, I think Rachel has said oftentimes, well, I don't know if that would be the best decision at times. I mean, I want you to speak on this as well, if you
Sure.
feel.
Yep. Yeah, we have conversations weekly and sometimes daily
Mhm,
about finances, and you're right, the buck does stop here. She and I discuss all the finances,
mhm,
and if it does go above that threshold, we do bring it before the board for a presentation
mhm.
and a final approval before we move forward. But you're correct in saying Ms. Creasy is very good about saying no. That
Mhm.
was one of the things that stood out when we hired her. And that was one of my questions to her. And out of the 6 or 8 folks we interviewed, she was the only one that answered immediately, I'm not afraid to say no, and she is not.
Mhm.
If she says, no, this cannot happen, it does not happen.
Right.
And you got to have that. You got to have those checks and balances so the finances are in order
Mhm,
and the money is spent responsibly
Mhm.
and for the students. Our goal as an admin team is what impact can we make on our students? That's our number one goal when we're looking at finances.
mhm.
So that's how we've approached it since I got here.
Yes,
And we plan to continue doing it
Yeah.
that way.
you
Yes,
are a
ma'am.
good team. In the end, is it your final decision though,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a superintendent. So, um, who is accountable for money? Okay, just said that. Uh, Coming down to what we were talking about today, why were there such large pay increases to the superintendent's salary in question? I can't answer that. None of us were on the board, including our finance officer, to say what happened. All that we have are the numbers in front of us, and, normal cost of living raises as well as merit-based raises normally range from 3 to 5% each year. There was an 8.5% raise given in 2020, a 4.8% raise in 2022, a 10.5% in 2022, and 8% in 2023. That's all we have to go off of. And why? I don't know, but what I would say is, this board is very committed to reining in the finances and not seeing that happen again. We will not be using fund balances for reoccurring payments or salaries. Again, I don't know. I was not on the board, and I'm not blaming the board, any other boards, because we don't know why they did what they did or anything. But I know this board is committing to that, and we feel that the fund balance should only be used for what I believe its purpose is, which is for emergencies and things of that nature. So we really need to stick to that. One other thing before, I'm sorry this is taking so long, but I just feel like
Okay.
public wise, I want to make sure people understand this. As I was talking to Kitsy Burns a couple days on the phone, and one last time, I don't want to beat a dead horse or continue to discuss this. And Lord knows it's been talked about enough with our administrative staff and others, but we are in a financially bad place. And I just don't think people fully understand that. And I realized that when talking to Kitsy, can you pull up the graph, please, Brett? Again, not knowing, coming onto this board, yeah, unfortunately, we only have this to see. I was looking back a little ways, and I was able to see that in 2020, our balance, I believe, was 580,650. So I think it's always been being pulled from for salaries and things like that. And I don't know what else it's been pulled for, but we had COVID. We received a large amount of money, which was great. And the audit from 2022, we were at $1,118,541. At the close of 2024 audit, we were at 308,108. 308,108, which is 5 days operating expenses. You realistically need 30 days of operating expenses in the bank. So just to go over what Rachel said again, because I want to make sure people understand why this went down so much. These funds, I would say the majority of funds were spent, was ESSER funding, and we did have 8 people on this. So that means that we were paying for salaries that we knew at some point would most likely go away. That is not what ESSER funds were for. I think that these funds probably would have been better being put into building. I mean, we've talked about this as a board. So, you know, whether it be HVAC system, whether it be, I know we need a weight room over in our facilities, just, there's lots of different things, but once this went away, the ESSER funds, then we had to start paying these people out of the fund balance. Also, we had multiple expenditures over the year from that 2022 to 2023 that we looked at, where we had renovations of 16,500 that were here at the central office. We had an electronic sign for $40,000 that is at the car wash. We had furniture purchases of $130,000. We had travel allotments of $25,000 that were to be given every 2 years. We had GLA, which cost us $140,000. And we also lost money during this time, during the App State program due to ADM money. So this is a lot of monies that were spent and that are now gone. That leaves us to where we are now. Just want to say that because not only that, but due to that, this board has done everything that they can to get us back on the most steady ground that we're able to have. Beginning 2 years ago, we've closed schools, we've eliminated programs, employees, we've not rehired positions when people have left or retired, and had to even take away performance bonuses this past year for our directors and admins because we do not have the funds for it. This had nothing to do with performance. It has everything to do with where the school system has been left. Just want to say that so that it is on the record and it is known. With all that said, that brings us back to where we are today, which is deciding how we are going to go about paying this pension spike. So that was a lot, and I'm sorry. But Dr. Hall, I'm assuming you would like to
Yes,
speak
ma'am.
on this,
Sure.
please.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you for your words.
Uh-huh.
With the pension spiking, basically the state retirement system gives us 2 options. Option 1, pay the amount in full, and the bill is a little over $262,000. As you can see from the graph that was up, that would have to come from local fund balance. We only have $308,000 in local fund balance. Our second option is to set that $262,000 up into payments, a payment plan, a 12-year payment plan. That's the only option that they offer is the 12-year payment plan. It will come with interest. If you, those that heard me at the commissioners meeting, Rachel did a rough estimate between $80,000 and $100,000 in interest payments. So we could end up paying close to $362,000 for the pension spiking. At this point in time, our only option is the 12-year payment plan. We have to sign the paperwork and submit to the retirement system by June 30th. So we only have a few weeks left to get that in. So we need to set that payment plan up. And that's what I am recommending to the board. Given our current status, is to not fully deplete that fund balance, as we have worked hard the last 19 months, as you said, to stabilize and stop the bleeding, so to speak, within the district financially. I suggest we go with the 12-year payment program. And in speaking with Rachel, she has been in constant contact with the retirement system. We can set the payment plan up. We will not be penalized if in a few years we're in much better shape and we can pay the remainder of the lump sum off, which would save on some interest. So we would have that option later down the road if our fund balance recovers. And we have stabilized and it has recovered. When we got here and we got Rachel hired and we made some of those changes and adjustments, we were facing a drop to 117,000 in fund balance. But through those cutting some programs, stabilizing things, we kept it at 308, and we've kept it constant at that this entire school year. And we'll know after June 30 this year, when our fiscal year rolls over, if we had any additional savings, which we're hoping comes through, and that bumps up even more. So we'll be looking at that in July and reporting back out when we meet next. But that's my recommendation to the board, is to go with that 12-year payment plan at this time.
Okay. So you're saying if for some reason we would have some sort of windfall and for, I don't know, we would get money someplace.
Yes.
If we were able to pay it off, let's say even just next year, do we incur still any extra interest or?
I'll have to check with her
Okay.
on that. If we pay it
I
off
know,
that soon. Yeah, if
yeah.
we pay it off that soon, we may.
Okay,
But I will find out from her.
okay.
But
But we
it would
do
still-
have that
in
option.
the end, yes, in the end, it would still be better than
Yes.
80 to 100,000.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree.
okay. Okay. Any further discussion?
Well,
Yeah.
I know you asked the county commissioners, is
Yeah.
there
Hmm.
anybody else that we could consider, maybe the town of Elkin, if they would be interested, or,
Yes, we could reach out to other entities.
see if they have the means to at least help? Could we pay a portion and then finance a portion? Is that an option as well?
We could check on those options with the quick timeline to get that into the state. We'll have to set up that payment plan to start with, because we have to by June 30. But we can look at other options. If we were to finance part of it or whatever, or all of it,
Right?
depending on the rate, that would take some time. We all know, working with a financial institution. But at least we can have something in place, and we are following their protocols at the state level to get this started, so to speak. And then hopefully come up with a plan to hopefully take away some of that interest, is what I would hope. We're not getting out of the 262,000
Right.
any way you look at it, but if we can save 80 to 100,000, or, if we have to pay a little penalty for paying it off early, within a year, I would be willing to do that, to get rid of that that black cloud hanging
Mhm.
over the district.
Yeah.
So we can continue to move forward. Yes, ma'am.
And it might be worth reaching out to the town, to
Okay.
see if there's something
Sure.
that they could do, to help.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, we can do that. Thank you.
Okay.
I guess all been said.
Okay. Then we need to vote on this. Is there a motion to approve Dr. Hall's payment plan?
I move that we approve the payment plan.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All right. Favor? Aye. Wonderful. Okay, that is approved. Mrs. Jamie Roberts, I'll have you come up and present. You have 25-26 meal prices, as well as school nutrition, new and renewal contracts.
Here. Thank you, board members, for allowing me to add on to your agenda. I know you have a lot of, very important topics that you're discussing this morning. So I'm gonna be brief. The first action item that I have are the 25-26 meal prices. These are not going to change. We are in school nutrition financially solvent, so we are breaking even. We're not going to raise meal prices until it affects us financially. So those will stay the same. You will note minor changes as we move the sixth grade up to the middle school. So those sixth grade students will now be paying the $3 price that the middle school was paying previously for paid meals. But that is the only change for next year. Okay, the second item that I have are our new and renewal contracts. So these are our distributor and vendor bids. So for this year, we are requesting renewals for our food and supply distributor bid, our milk with Mayola, and our produce. You can see the rollover year and how many years we've rolled over with those distributors at that point, or at this point. And then our new bid contract would be with ice cream for Hershey. We just don't really have a lot of options when it comes to ice cream vendors around here. So Hershey always wins. We always have to go out to bid because they always increase prices. So we are recommending our new award contract with Hershey this year.
Is that it?
Short and sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we vote on these together? Is it, or do they need to be?
Is there a copy of the contract for Hershey?
There is. It was a formal RFP.
So do you have it?
Not on me.
I would approve the amount, I would vote on them separately, approve the amount, or to be able to enter into the contract with Hershey so that we can review it.
Okay.
Is that okay? Can you send it to me?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so first we will vote on the 25-26 meal prices. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion, approve as stated.
Thank you, Susan. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Haley. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. And then for the Hershey's, for the amount, for the bid amount, I will ask for a motion there as well. And we'll want to have the actual contract sent over, please. Can I get a motion for that as well?
Also make a motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
You second, all in favor? Aye. Wonderful. Thank you
Perfect.
so much.
Allie, are you okay with the preliminary letter? Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Announcements, Monday, June 30th, regular Board of Education meeting, that will be held here at 6 p.m. Other than that, we will go, into closed session next. Can I get, I need a motion to go into closed session. Yeah. Can I get a motion, please?
I make a motion that we go into closed session. For
Okay.
what do you have to state the purpose?
Oh,
Amended
For-
by GS 143, 318.11A3 and 6 to review closed sessions minutes.
of the
and
previous meeting,
yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Second?
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We will go back then. Thank you all for coming.